Ain't make no, she made a boss. My diamond, they shine when the light turned off. Rockin' designer, I'm drippin' the sauce. All of my diamond real, so they call. You know it costs to live like this.
I already set my lid with, well, I concealed my lid with LA Girl Pro Primer in Pure Beige and Natural Like Always. And then I just set it with the Airspun setting powder in Translucent. And yeah, so let's get into the tutorial or whatever. So I'm gonna go into the Warriors palette, which has really become one of my faves. And I know I say that all the time, but I don't care. So I'm gonna go into it mono or Mino. Probably does not say mono. I'm tripping. Mino, not mono. So I'm gonna take a e.l.f. blending brush. Yeah, just a e.l.f. blending eye brush that looks like that. And I'm just going to pack it on like how I always be doing. I'm just gonna stop right there. I'm not gonna bring it all the way down just because this side isn't all the way down. You begging to seduce me, but beggars cannot be choosy. Then I'm gonna go into a crown brush, one of their blending brushes that has no numbers on it anymore because I've been using it so much. And I'm going back into the Warriors palette in Kano, probably Kano. And then I'm just gonna take that and put that on top. And I'm gonna pat it out just because I'm gonna go in between with another shade to blend it. But I'm gonna take this shade all the way down. But I want to go in between with that third transition shade that I was saying with this brown out of course, another fave, the Zulu palette. And I'm going to take a Ruby Kiss tempered eyeshadow brush. That should just say a blending brush. This is definitely a blending brush. But yeah, you guys know, I guess, what they mean. And I'm going to take this, and I'm going to take that brown and really just blend in between the two. And if like it don't come all the way like how I want to, I'm just going to, which is not, I know it's not. So I'm going to go back in between that deep shade and that lighter shade from the Warriors palette. So now I'm going back into that deep shade with the by the Warriors palette. And now I'm still patting, but I'm like swiping it as I pat. Now I'm going to go back into the Zulu palette with that brown. And I'm going to pack it on top of that just because I don't want it to be too deep. Then I'm going to go back into Kano and blend it out. I'm not sure how you say this one, Mormy, I don't know, but this one right here, this light shade, I'm going to go in with that first. Like on this brow it looks different because it is, I went in with this first and then I went in with another shade. So I'm just going to take that, and y'all know I'm extra, you definitely don't have to highlight your brow bone. I suggest it though because it just makes your eyes pop even more. And who don't want their eyes to be popping? And it would have been fine with this one, but as y'all can see, like it blends into my skin a little bit too much. So what I did was I went back into the Nubian 2 palette. I almost dropped it. And I went in with Zuri, I think this says. It has makeup all over it. Okay, yeah. And so I went into Zuri, which is this one, and it's just that shade from the Warriors palette is more like of a champagne, and this one is like more of like a silver. So that's why I went on top with this one. And I could have just took this one, but I don't know, I didn't want to just use it by itself. Okay, now I'm just gonna go back in and blend it with that top transition color. Going into my usual, the Wet n Wild eyeshadow brush. It's real dirty. And then I have the Makeup Revolution Cut Crease Concealer. Going in with a hosey, of course, to set my concealer with just a regular Crown. Was it the Crown? No, it was a BH Cosmetics brush. My bad, y'all. It was a BH Cosmetics number 6 brush, and now I'm just going to set my concealer by patting it. The gold that I'm going to go into is, I think it's Bakwa maybe, from the Warriors palette, with a Crown eyeshadow brush, the same ones I'm always going into, but with a Crown eyeshadow brush. And I am patting it first and then like gliding it after I have it on my lid. I'm going to go into my Inglot 77 liner, of course. And I'm doing a half liner. Not the whole. I was going to do a wing, but I don't know. I just feel like this look is so much better with no wing. I'm going to take my NYX glitter primer, and I don't like to take a lot because I don't like for it to dry out, but I just hate having to put more glue over the glitter because it just don't look good. And with this eye, I did my glitter first and then did my liner, just because I don't know if y'all can see that, but it's like it's messing up already. So of course, if you're gonna do your liner first, then you just have to be super duper precise. And then I'm going in with just a regular glitter and then a chunky glitter, chunky and a chunky glitter that I actually just mixed together with a bunch of different glitters that I had. Well, it's not even a bunch. I think I just mixed like 3 or 4 maybe. going into the CoverGirl True Blend Based Business Skin Primer, and this one is the the skin, no, this one is the skin smoother. And I'm going to mix it with the one for the pores, if I can find it. I want to go in with the same one, but this one is the one for pores, the pore minimizing one. And I'm going to pat. The per usual. I'm going in with two oldies but goodies, and that is the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop Full Coverage Foundation in Caramel, and the Photo Focus Foundation by Wet n Wild in the shade, what is the shade? Caramel. Wet n Wild foundation brush, and it is damp. And I'm just going to pat my foundation in. I'm going to take a BH Cosmetics 139 flat brush just to get the smaller areas and like areas where it needs to be a little more precise. If you guys are ever wondering, because I don't think I ever really mentioned this step, I just kind of speed the video up, but when I'm doing like above my brows and around like my eyes and stuff like that, I always take a flat brush. Most of the time they're from either BH Cosmetics or it's an Amazon brush. It's a few Amazon brushes that I have, like ones like this. This is Wet n Wild though, but I don't know if you guys can really see what that looks like, but it's like one that you could get in perfectly right there. I use those type of brushes to blend out concealer and foundation that's like in just these type of areas. For concealer, I'm going to take the Revolution Cut Crease Canvas. I'm just going to take a little bit of that because this is super duper light. Ouch. And y'all know I normally set my foundation, but just because these two together are like super matte, I didn't do it this time. Okay, as y'all can see, a little bit of this really goes a long way. So I'm super glad I really didn't put a whole lot. I didn't put a whole lot because I was going to go in with Pure Beige by LA Girl Pro concealer, just, you know, so it wasn't super duper bright. But what I'll do is I'll just make sure I go back in with my foundation brush, because I didn't expect for it to really go this far. Like, I literally only put a little bit. So now I'm going to take this Wet n Wild brush like I was just telling y'all, and this is a, it doesn't say, but take my foundation brush and really blend that out, because we want wet, seamless. We want a seamless look. So I haven't used my fave in a while for contour. This is the No Filter Concealer by ColourPop in the shade Deep 56. So I'm just going to take a little bit of that, a little bit of that, a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit there, a dot here, and a dot there. Well, that's not really a dot, but yeah. So I'm going to take my first favorite contour brush, which is a crown brush. I don't believe these ever came with names, but it's like a really fat, it looks like a really fat defining brush, because if you look at this one by Crown, it looks the exact same way. This one is just thicker, so I always use this for my nose contour. Remember, you never have to do your contour as deep as I do it, but I love a deep snatched nose, okay? So chiseled, like, yes. And I'm taking my favorite face contour brush, which is a BH Cosmetics number 3 brush, and it's just like, I don't know how to explain this brush. It's like one of those blush brushes, but it's not angled. It's like, but it's not flat, but it's like the same. Y'all know what I'm trying to say? Y'all get what I'm trying to say. And so I'm just going to pat it up. Like I'm going to pat it up to give me that jawline that I wasn't born with. But I always had a fat face. Like even before I gained weight, I had a really fat face. So yeah, I'm just going to take that up and blend it. And I'm not swiping, I'm just really trying to pat it, and then I'm gonna go in. Going to go in with another oldie but goodie, the Black Radiance Contour Palette, powder palette, and y'all see I done ran this highlight through. This was my first ever contour palette. Well, this one isn't actually my first one, but this is the one that I was using this one forever. When I first started like highlighting and contouring, this was the only highlight I used to use. And this was the only contour I used for maybe like a year or so. Snatched. I'm going to go in with the Maybelline Fit Me in the shade 10 to set my highlight. To blend it out, I'm going into the usual CoverGirl Queen Collection powder in the shade light golden with a BH Cosmetics powder brush, and I'm just taking it to really blend. For blush, I'm going into the usual, the LA Girl, is this LA Colors Rad Roll blush in Awesome. There's a whole lot of gold stuff going on. I am going to go into my Juvia's Place Loose Highlight in Nefertiti. I'm taking a number 101 brush from BH Cosmetics, which is my favorite brush to highlight with. I'm back into my Inglot gel liner, and I always tell y'all, if you're going to use gel liner on your under eye, be as careful as possible.
About to get straight finesse, trying to get a little cheaper. Hold on that clip like a doped up needle. To hang on that skirt with that for Known for the bad little bitches, red bottom. And when your man's there hurt, then the feds got him. I see you cruising